Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Shows Fantasy Football, and week 3 is now over. Hopefully you guys came out with another victory. We had a great Monday night game with the Dallas Cowboys and obviously the New York Giants. Hopefully there were some players that got you guys that win that you needed at the end to get you guys victorious. Hopefully you guys have already checked out our waiver wire video. Waivers obviously are still clearing until tomorrow morning for most of you, so make sure you guys check that out. There were some injuries that have occurred, and of course you guys want to get some players that will help you out. Now week 4, this is going to be the quarterback position. These are your obvious quarterbacks you should be starting no matter the situation. These are guys that are going to typically be matchup proof and of course have some matchups as well. So again, these are your guys you're going to be starting this week. Now, as far as quarterback start and sits go, I'm going to talk about a few big names, and then obviously we'll talk about sleepers. So the first quarterback I have as a good start this week may surprise you. It's Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson has not really clicked very well in this offense so far. Now, you have to understand, a lot of these players don't play preseason, so they're starting to get adjusted. This is now week 4. This should be where you start to see who is going to be the consistent players for you this season. Now, Russell Wilson's going against the Raiders, who have allowed 23.3 points to the quarterback position and almost 2 touchdowns per game to the quarterback. So they're allowing touchdowns. They're allowing over 270 passing yards as well. And Judy should be healthier this game. He didn't really perform very well. He did get 6 targets, but he only had 17 yards receiving. Really, it was Cortland Sutton that really blew up and had a really good game. But I do expect Judy to be a lot healthier this week, which will help him out. And this is a good matchup. And of course, a game that really doesn't matter for them. This is obviously AFC West game, so this is going to be a big one. Another quarterback I have as a good start, who unfortunately I did pretty well. Nothing amazing, but did pretty well, who I thought was a good sit last week, is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers going against the Patriots, who have given up 22.5 points to the quarterback. They're also allowing 2 passing touchdowns a game as well, just like the Raiders. And Rodgers was against a tough Bucs defense, but was still managing to put up 2 touchdowns with obviously the receiving core that he's got. Okay. Now Dubs actually looked pretty good. He's starting to see a little bit more of a, I would say, rapport with some of these younger receivers and obviously Lazard. Still, his best weapons are really going to be Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, but I like Aaron Rodgers' chance this week to either get the 2 touchdowns or, again, maybe a rushing touchdown here. But I expect him at least 15 to 18 points in fantasy this week. So I like him as a good start this week. Not a must start, but a really good start. Now, the last guy is going to kind of shock you. I've got Jacoby Brissett as a good start this week. He's going against the Falcons, who are absolutely horrendous against the pass. They're allowing over 285 passing yards. And on top of that, they're allowing 2 passing touchdowns a game, which is where Brissett has actually done a really good job. Brissett has finally started to connect really well with Amari Cooper. He had a great connection last week with David Njoku, and he's been very consistent. If you look at his points per game, he's actually one of the better quarterbacks, where like a big name like Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson are struggling in that aspect. So Jacoby Brissett might be a streaming quarterback or a super flex quarterback you should be starting this week, especially with the matchup against Atlanta. Now, as far as my first sit goes, I have Matthew Stafford as a sit against the 49ers. 49ers are giving up only 10.3 points to the quarterback. They're allowing fewer than 170 passing yards. And Stafford has struggled finding his receivers unless they're named Cooper Kupp. So realistically, this is a matchup that really just breathes a sit for Stafford. I mean, it's one of those games that he could obviously perform well, but I just like the 49ers defense just a little bit better. They're playing really well. They have done a really good job this season, and Stafford is just looking off. He's thrown a lot of interceptions so far this season, like he did last year. I think he led the league in interceptions last year. Stafford just does not look very, very good, and I don't feel comfortable starting him. Another quarterback I don't feel comfortable starting, who I do like for the most part in fantasy, is Derek Carr. Look, Derek Carr, I had a good start last week, and he did really well. He got you some points. But Derek Carr against the Broncos this week is going to be tough. Broncos are allowing the 4th fewest points to the quarterback with 11.6. They're also keeping passing yards under 195 yards, and they're only allowing 1 touchdown a game. And that's 1, okay? And this is a matchup that I think can do well for Carr. They're going to have to, but this offense looks really, really just poor. Yes, you got Devontae Adams. Yes, you got a Renfro, who unfortunately was out. Matt Collins looked really good. Darren Waller has been off and on. But for whatever reason, Josh McDaniels cannot get this offense going. And he's done that in the past, unfortunately, when he's been a head coach. So with that said, I like Derek Carr as a good sit this week. I think he might be a good play for Superflex just because you might need to, but I'm not starting him as my QB1. Now, the last quarterback I have as a good sit this week is going to be Trevor Lawrence, who has been on fire. But the Eagles are a really, really good defense. Right now, they're keeping quarterbacks at 12.3 points a game. They're averaging 1 interception against the quarterback per game, and they're keeping them under 220 passing yards. Now, Trevor Lawrence offense looks really good, and a lot has to contribute to Doug Peterson. I think Doug Peterson is a good coach to have, especially for a younger quarterback. It's a very pass-heavy offense. He's got a great weapon in Christian Kirk, where a lot of people kind of were doubting that signing, but I like Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, and of course, James Robinson out of nowhere has done phenomenal even after the injury to his Achilles. But with that said, the Eagles are a team that is on fire. Now, here's where the flip side could happen. Trevor Lawrence could be in a situation where he is going to have to pass a lot because they are down big against the Eagles. The Eagles' offensive power is just too strong for most teams to keep up with. So I think this is going to be a team where he could probably get yards, but I would kind of feel a little more comfortable if you sat him this week, unless you had to, unless you don't have a better option. Now, as far as a good sleeper goes, I have Matt Ryan against the Titans. I know Matt Ryan has not performed very well this season, but Titans are allowing 22.6 points to the quarterback. They're allowing over 270 passing yards, and they're averaging an allowance of 3 touchdowns in the passing game. 3 touchdowns. So Matt Ryan has the capability and the ability to really get there. If Michael Pittman stays healthy and he does play like he did this past weekend, it could happen. Jonathan Taylor obviously needs to kind of step up a little bit. He has not performed very well this season. I think a lot of people are kind of getting frustrated with him being the number 1 overall pick. But Matt Ryan has a good situation to really try and turn this around. They got a win last week. This is their way to kind of turn this season around for them, especially against a rival in this matchup. Now, another guy I have as a good sleeper is going to be Geno Smith. Geno Smith's going against the Lions. The Lions have allowed a lot. They're allowing over 280 yards passing. They're allowing 23.9 points to the quarterback. They've also allowed 35 rushing yards, where Geno Smith could possibly take advantage of as well. Geno Smith is not going to be amazing in this game, but he's going to be consistent. He's going to probably get you 230 to 240 passing yards, probably a touchdown or 2. I like Tyler Lockett a lot in this week. DK Metcalf has done pretty well. A lot of it's going to rely on Rashad Penny and see how that performs, but this game is a good matchup and good turnaround for Geno Smith to have a really good sleeper game. He'll probably get you anywhere from 15 to 18 points, which is good for a low-end QB1. So that's a good one for you. So those are my start, sits, and sleepers for the quarterback position of week 4. Again, if you guys have not already, check out our waiver wire video to get you guys situated and right for this week. Obviously, we'll be dropping our start, sits for the running back, wide receiver, and tight end as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and that notification bell is on. That way you guys are notified when we do drop those videos. If you guys did enjoy the content, make sure you hit the like button. It is greatly appreciated. Again, check out the waiver wire video. Have any questions, hit us in the comments, and I'll check you guys next time.